Welcome, everyone. Welcome to our Friday sensual activation ritual and transmission time. So, this week it is all about throat chakra. And this is such a juicy one to really tune into opening up your voice, speaking your truth, your desires, speaking with clarity and honesty. And there's so much more. So, as these sessions go, we're going to have around 15 minutes of teaching. Then we're going to have a beautiful 15-minute or so guided embodiment ritual where you can really take what we're sharing and bring it through the body, because that is so important that we not just learn things in our mind, but we actually experience it in our cells and in our hearts and in our wombs. So my name is Serena Amoroso. I am one of your guides. And then we also have the lovely Monique Gomez with us.
Hello, everyone. So happy
And
to be here today.
yeah. And so with that, we'll get straight into it. And if you want to watch any of our other chakra series, they are all linked in that YouTube playlist. So you can go through all of them anytime you need a little boost or want to go even deeper, because you will always receive it differently because you are a new person each time you tune in. Okay, let's go. Rock and roll.
Yay. Amazing. So, throat chakra. Oof, right? So I like to start as I typically do. Find your body. We have the whole body here with us, and the throat chakra specifically is this bridge between the heart and the mind, right? It is the place um, of communication, expression, truth, and resonance of like authentic uh, being. Really, that's how I see it, right? So it's located in the throat. So somatically or body wise, it's like anything associated with thyroid, right? Your vocal cords, things like that. It's all part of this the jaw, the mouth. It's all part of this area that we're going to be talking about today. So it's important to kind of know like these energy centers and like what is actually like the physical spot to where we can start working. So a lot of times people have tight jaws, right? It's like, oh, I have a tight jaw. What am I not saying? What's happening in my throat chakra? What am I not fully expressing? These can be like how we start bridging the somatic or physicality to the emotions, to the energy, right? To what we're really needing to be um, to say maybe, especially with throat chakra, to where we can live the most authentic. Um, and so when things are like open and kind of fluid, usually that you can feel a difference because you can feel it in your throat, in your jaw. There's not so much tightness, you know? When they're more constricted, when maybe you're having difficulty expressing desires, right? Because this is part of like the sensual world is we're connecting it to sensuality. So this is part of how am I expressing what I fully want or need or desire? If that's an area that feels really scary, we say things like, "Oh, it feels like it's stuck in my throat or my throat tightens up," right? These are all ways that our body is giving us cues to help us understand like what we need to do in order to fully express. Or maybe we're like, it will give us an ability too, like, wow, my throat's really tight. Is there something that I'm really not sharing? Right? It can prompt our mind as well. So our body and minds can help each other out, basically. Yeah. What about, I
Yeah.
just want to stop there, check in with you first.
I love that piece because that's really, I find the throat to be, for me, one of the most obvious ones when I'm not listening to it for that exact reason. As Monique shared, it's when I'm not speaking my truth or sharing something that I know needs to be shared, my throat will get like really tingly. It will start to feel really tight. And then my heart will kind of race a little bit. And that's how I know it's like, okay, this is something really important. It's time for me to share this. And so my body communicates very clearly to me. And that's really the invitation for all of you, is to start noticing, like, is your body communicating to you? And can you honor it in that moment? Because I can feel the energy wanting to move and wanting to be expressed. And so it's actually this like very beautiful signal to me. It's like, okay, like, let's rock and roll. This is the time. And I know for me, working with the throat was, and the throat chakra really began a lot of my journey. It was the first spot that I really noticed was blocked. And I started having like kind of like coughing and tingling. And I started working with a Reiki practitioner. I was like, oh yeah, my throat's so blocked. And that really started me down this path of working with the chakras and exploring these energies in my own body. And so what that looked like for me and what this might look like for any of you, and we're in Mexico, so just go with all of the sounds that are happening. Um, was I used to really suppress my truth. And I was so scared of sharing what I was feeling, let's see, what I was feeling, what I knew to be true for me, what my desires were, right? I was so disconnected from that. And so I know some of you can really relate to that because it's like, oh, if I actually share this desire, it's going to be too much. They're going to think I'm too needy, right? All of these stories start to come in. And so that's really the opportunity where you get to see like how are you relating to yourself, how are you relating to your voice, and what are you suppressing? And so that's really like there's going to be that side where you actually really don't express because there's the fears.
Mhm.
And then, there's the other side of the imbalance where it can be we are maybe over expressing in the sense where you're always over explaining. So it's right, you have a need and you're like, oh, I'd really love it if you would just cuddle me, for this evening or something, right? Like very simple. But like, oh, because it's going to really help me feel safe and it's going to help me feel more connected to you. And I want to build intimacy. It's like you come up with all of these stories around justifying your desire. And so the invitation there is if you tend to be more over explaining and over justifying and needing to prove yourself or, really speak from that place, the invitation becomes, can I just state it simply and cleanly? And what comes through with that is the sense of, no is a complete sentence. And that's something where I would really invite all of you to look at is because that's a really obvious one, especially as women. It's like we're so trained that in the people pleasing or not honoring ourselves and dismissing our needs and being so attuned to everyone else, where when we say no, there can be guilt associated with it or judgment associated with it. And we're like, oh, well, it's a no because I've got to do this, or it's a no because of, it's a no, but what if you just said no and you didn't over explain, you didn't justify, you just let that be? And can you sit with the uncomfortable feelings that also come along with that as you're in that journey of learning to embody more of your truth more and honoring your expression more?
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Yeah. And thank you for, you know, when you were talking about how this kind of started for you, like it's the most obvious. It was how you started noticing how you were closed off. And it really resonated with me because I look back and I grew up always having like strep throat. Like I was just anytime I would feel sick, it started in my throat. And
Mm,
doing all of this work over the years, right? Rarely now do I that have that experience. And but like being suppressed for so long, right? Anytime I try to use my voice, no, too much. Nope, that's not what I want to hear. I don't want to hear that from you, right? Be a good girl. Like you can't say that, right? Like all of these things. Don't express that way. Don't cry. Don't share. Don't yell. All of those things will
mm,
compound and then it gets stuck. It's really like this area, right? Our throat it it pushes it will like all of the emotions that we feel, all the things in our heart, it can like just get blocked right there. It's hard to swallow, or we get the sore throat.
mm,
All of those things will start happening. And I think this happens a lot with women, like we were talking about, because we're so trained to do those things and people please. And no is a complete sentence, or saying just enough, like just saying the truth. And that's good. It's not too much, it's not too bad. It's like that's your truth. And you can feel over time as you get more aware in the somatic realm, right? Of like, oh, wow, my whole throat just, or my whole jaw just softened, my throat relaxed. Your voice changes. And it's also, because I've heard this a lot, and I had this experience when I started working with my throat chakra and speaking, saying the thing because I was so quiet too, right? It made me very quiet. Therefore, I never spoke. And so when I would start speaking, it was shaky. My voice shaked. I was scared. It was like tight. My voice would get like a little tighter, right? Like a little higher. All of those things, just know that's part of it. Like it's part of the process. And then because it's the opening to to trusting that you can use it again. And then the throat can relax. And then the jaw relaxes. And then the flow, the truth of what you're needing can just start expressing out a lot more easily.
Mm-hmm. Uh, Yes, the reminder to be so graceful with yourself in this process of you're not always going to say the right thing. You're not going to always say it in the right way. It might, yeah, my voice as well, when it's like a really big truth, can be like really shaky and I can feel it all in my body. And it's like, and that's okay. Like giving yourself the spaciousness to experiment and just be proud of yourself for even having the courage to say what's true. And within that, mm, something that's so interesting in a lot of the ceremonies that I lead, one of the things, and I know Monique, you do this as well, is it's always like, okay, let me like, right, we always start with a breath. It's like, let me hear you like sigh it out and moan and bring some sound to it. And typically, people be kind of quiet in doing that the first few rounds. And then I do it really loud and then they feel more comfortable. And I received this beautiful feedback recently in a ceremony where I was like, yes, like I can finally hear you, like hearing your sound is like music to my ears. And someone commented after that ceremony, like when you said that, it allowed me to go so much deeper. And so I share that to remind you all of like, we're just society in general is coded really in silence. And, don't be too loud if you're on the bus or don't be too loud in the store. Like, don't make so much noise. And it's just so deeply encoded to really suppress and be quiet and not take up space. And so something that I love to do is just like if I'm alone in my house, is just like make a lot of noise and then also like make weird noises and different sounds to play with that and opening up my throat and giving some expression there. And then like bring the play into it, bring like the play and the joy of like just letting it be silly and goofy. And that always opens up so much for me. Um, and there was another thread that has dissolved. So if it comes back, I'll share it, but otherwise I'll turn it over to you.
Yeah, no, I love that you bring in sound because that was something I wanted to speak to as well. Is this is our vibration. Sound is vibration, right? This is how we get to make sound, which is such an essential part of us being on this planet. Like this is your sound, your unique sound, right? Your unique signature, resonance, frequency. It comes from this space. It comes from allowing the throat to open. So and to speak and express your truth. So I am a huge believer of making all the weird sounds. And it is part of healing and getting to know and playing with your ability to express authentically in any way, right? Desires, what you're feeling. Um, and it also, sound in itself, the vibration, it also helps regulate the nervous system, right? Like we can, like the sounds we make can help us drop in to find more calm and peace. And then that can also help let us express in a really true way. So
Mm.
yeah, that was, I think, oh, the last little bit, because I just wanted to tap into the one other thing, and then I'll turn it over to you, and then we'll
And then I
jump in.
remembered my thread. Yeah,
Okay, cool.
perfect.
So like the other thread that I had was regarding, female-bodied humans, is our vocal cord and like yoni connection, vagina connection, right?
Hmm.
Like we are meant, like they are one. I always say like they're one of the same. Like they are the two areas of orifices, orifices, openings, whatever we're going to call them, but they are connected. So when we're finding our sensuality, our sexuality, it is very natural to moan, to make noise. When women are giving birth, what are we doing? Right? Making noise. It's so primal. It's so part of how our body works with this expression, and they're connected. So that was just going to be my last little bit, was just
Yeah,
plant that
so
seed of that
important.
connection. Yeah.
I would invite everyone to go look up a picture because I'm not able to
Yes.
share it right now. I'll share it in our group though, is a picture of the throat and the yoni because the vocal cords and the way that the womb is like, it's like they look the
Yes.
same. And I always say to clients when we're doing pleasure work, it's like open throat, open pussy, open throat. And if one of them is closed, usually the other is closed. So, right, when you're not really able to make sound or express your truth, usually you're also not able to really feel pleasure and be connected to your womb and be connected to your sensuality. And the beauty of that is when you also open one, if you open your throat or you open your pussy, it's also going to help open the other, vice versa. Like they can work in synergy in that way to really support you, which is amazing. So like really working with that. And then the last thread that I had is around, right? So many times right? Why do we suppress our truth in the first place? So many times it hasn't been welcomed. It hasn't been met with grace and love and acceptance. And so really, mm, there's kind of two layers here where it's like start surrounding yourself and being in relationships with people that want your truth, that say like, thank you for your no. Monique and I, we've led a really beautiful ritual on this where you just practice like saying no and the people respond, thank you for your no. And to imprint that into your nervous system, into your heart, into your body, that your no is safe, that your truth is safe. And so I would invite you all to really take an inventory and an audit of, do you have people in your life that really actually support your truth and celebrate you in that? Or are the people in your life shaming you and judging you and kind of putting up resistance and fighting you? Because if those people are in your life, I'm not saying you need to cut them out, but this is where you can use your throat and have a conversation of like, hey, like I've been noticing this pattern and I'm really working on speaking my truth and honoring myself. Are you able to support me in that? And they can say yes or no. And then you're gonna have other people are like, yeah, like let's do it. That's gonna be so amazing. I'm so excited for you. And this is really where you also get to work with like being comfortable, learning to be comfortable, like disappointing people because someone's going to ask you to do something and you'll say no, and they might be disappointed. And can you hold that sensation in your body and remember that you honoring yourself, there's no greater feeling like than you actually honoring your truth, honoring who you are versus being in the space where you're self-abandoning, because no matter how much it hurts to disappoint someone else, I can tell you it cuts 1,000 times deeper to abandon yourself and disappoint yourself. And so really cultivating the relationships and the friendships and the romantic partners that honor that and that want your truth and actually ask you for more of your truth, even if it hurts them. And like, especially if it hurts them, because guess what? They can handle it in the same way that you handle everyone else's truth in your life with so much grace. And you're like, okay, I can like see their perspective. And I'm so happy they shared that with me. And yeah, it stings for a moment, but I can process that on my own because you're all so powerful. It's like viewing other people in their power, they can also handle it. And I really, and practice this in your friendships because that's usually a lot easier. It might be more challenging in your intimate relationships where it feels like there's more at stake. And so I know in my old relationships with romantic partners, there would be times where I'm kind of like withholding my truth because I don't want to hurt his feelings. And that is the easiest way to corrupt your relationship. Like your partner, your man, you know, he can handle you hurting his feelings. And if you are tiptoeing around hurting his feelings, that's when you get into mothering him. And that's when you really start, as I said, corrupting the relationship, killing Eros, not allowing him to be in his power. You're abandoning yourself. Like it leads to a bunch of chaos. So in your practice, in your friendships, to build that vagal tone, to build that strength within yourself, to speak your truth, to be met, and then really be mindful of where you're abandoning in your intimate relationships. And so this can be as simple, with something that hurt your feelings, where you didn't feel honored, to, also just like speaking your desires, that can actually be the scarier thing. I know for a lot of women, a lot of you listening, I'm like, okay, I can share that I'm sad or that I was angry, but sharing that you actually, want him to take an hour to just like kiss every part of your body in a pleasure ritual, that can feel scarier and that can feel more vulnerable. So the invitation is also to lean into like speaking your desires from a place of pleasure and from a place of openness and as an invitation. It's not like, oh, I need you to kiss my body for an hour to program love. It's like, I'd really love it if we did this beautiful ritual and you just kiss me with love all over my body. Like, what do you say? Like totally different thing, but same desire, but expressed totally differently and going to be received extremely differently. So playing with your voice, playing with how you're expressing things is a really powerful place to be as well.
Yeah. Oh, I
That's what I've
love
got. We could go on
Yeah,
forever.
this one's such
Those
a
are
big
some
one.
more like high level pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, thank you so much for sharing them because it is like again, we're planting the seeds. We're giving ourselves this ability, like the um opportunity to kind of have a new perspective on ourselves and how we express. So
Yeah.
I love it.
Mm,
Anything
yay.
else before we dive in? Because I want to kind of get into a little bit of a
Yeah.
ritual here.
Let's get into the
Okay.
practice.
Yeah,
Yes.
let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so with this, oops, as my computer goes away. Okay. So with this practice, you can sit or stand, whatever feels the best for you, but just find a comfortable like spot in your body. So just find a
Mm.
comfort seat, or if you're laying down, kind of settle in and let your breath be found by your mind, and let your
Mm.
mind drop down into your breath. So take that deep inhale through your nose and then exhale with a soft open mouth. So again, just do that a couple more times. Inhale and exhale with a soft release, a gentle sigh. And as you gently sigh out on the next breath, let your jaw open. Let your jaw move. Ah,
Mm.
open it up.
Ah.
Ah,
Ah.
let your tongue relax. Bring your awareness to your tongue and open as you open the jaw. Stick out your tongue.
Ah.
Move your tongue side to side. Up and
Ah.
down. Make circles. Let it be weird. Ah,
Wow.
we're allowing weirdness, strangeness, newness
Mm.
into this space.
Mm.
Again, we try to keep quiet. We try to keep things contained. And here we're opening. So keep finding that breath, but now moving the neck. So letting your head roll, getting into the shoulders, expanding into that neck space. Keeping the breath going with those exhales. As you roll the neck, bringing your attention to the throat. As you're doing some neck rolls, just noticing you'll come to a center spot once again at your own time, at your own pace. And as you come into this center, I invite you to bring your awareness to the space at the center of your throat. Just bring your awareness. Sometimes I like to touch to help bring awareness, but you do not have to. But I want you to notice the temperature, maybe the texture. If you can kind of bring your mind's eye into that center space of your throat. What does it look like from the inside out? Is it tight? Is it open? Is there a juiciness to it? A dryness? Scanning with that inner eye yet again to your jaw. Noticing the jaw, both sides. So the first right side, notice the right side of your jaw. What does that feel like? What does it look like? And notice the left side of your jaw. Is there a difference? What it looks like or what it feels like? Scanning your tongue. So if with your inner eye, just noticing your tongue, move it around, but bringing awareness into your tongue. Is there a sensation, a taste? Moving the neck around again and bringing the attention to the neck. There's no need to change anything. We're just sensing it.
Hmm.
So we're going to practice making some sound right now. A little bit more sound. First thing I want you to do is just make a very natural, authentic, whatever sound comes out with an exhale. Okay, so we're just going to take an inhale, and on the exhale, just make any kind of sound. So inhale and exhale. Ah.
Ah.
Let's do that one more time.
Hmm.
Ah, opening the jaw, letting the tongue release, moving the lips. Let the sound be effortless. Do it one more time, just an authentic sound.
Ah.
Could even be a little quiet if that feels the most true.
Ah.
Yes.
Hmm.
All right, so now the next couple breaths. I invite you to, if you're in a space where you can, I want you on the exhale to make the sound ah, A-H-H-H, right? So
Ah.
ah. So you're going to find that inhale whenever it comes natural, and on the exhale, ah.
Ah.
Let it be all the way through. Let it fully exhale. Let it be a full body exhale with a sound. Ah.
Ah. Yeah, I
Now
feel
one
that in
more.
my womb.
Yes, yeah, feel
Yeah.
the depth. Mm. Ah.
Ah.
Release. And with that, how can we release the whole central channel all the way down to our yoni, all the way down to our throat? Ah. Notice how this vibration interacts and resonates through the rest of your body. Okay, so one
Hmm.
more time. Ah.
Ah.
Yes. Okay, just give yourself a moment to notice. So dropping in one more time, taking that inhale and that exhale. Just notice what's shifted. Notice the throat once again. Notice the jaw, the tongue, the neck space. Notice the heart space. And as we bring this to a close, this practice, I want you to ask your throat if there is anything it needs from me, from you, from yourself. Throat, is there anything you need from me that will help you feel safer to express? Just listen. Whatever came through first, just trust it. Maybe it's not a word, maybe it's an image, maybe it's just a sensation. Maybe your throat relaxed. And just noticing now if there's a word that comes to you, one word that you would like to say, that your heart would like to share through your throat and express. And I want you to just say that word out loud to yourself, just as a practice. Any word.
Hmm.
We're going to take one breath, and then on the exhale, I want you to say your word just as a practice. Gratitude.
Love.
Hmm, beautiful. All right. So, with that,
Hmm.
just bringing your hand to your heart, finding yourself, finding your truth, finding your throat, letting yourself swallow, maybe just to kind of bring more attention to that space. And exhale. One more time with just a little sigh, a gentle sigh.
Ah.
Beautiful. Thank you all so much. So, this is something to remember to do anytime, anywhere.
Yeah.
Let yourself make some noise, even if it's a gentle sigh
Mm.
of a breath. Okay?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Mm. Thank you so much, Monique, for guiding that.
Thank
The
you. Thank you.
final thing I will share as an invitation for you all is we really talked a lot about expressing outward and the words we're speaking, what we're sharing, what we're not. And I also want to remind you of what are the words that you're speaking to yourself, right? What is the conversation that
Mm.
you're having with yourself? And can you bring more love there? And for today, go speak some words of kindness to yourself, go celebrate yourself in your inner world. And that's going to dramatically shift your ability to communicate in the outer world. So play with that, have some fun with it. And we will be back next Friday at 12 p.m. Central Time. If you want to join us live, the link is in the comment description thingy below. So you can find us there to join live. We're so grateful. We love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you all so much. See you next time.